live user on, so I'm gonna turn it down. You use these. Yeah.
We are live here at Ben Light Gymnasium as the Ithaca Bombers women's basketball team takes on the Bard College Raptors. Hello, everyone. I am Alex Trippert. Alongside me is Dean Gutik. And Dean, looking at this Bombers team, they have had a red-hot start to the year. They are currently sitting at 5-1 and are currently ranked 15th in the nation, and come into this game off of a win last night against Vassar College. Dean, how much confidence does this Bombers team have right now?
Well, thank you, Alex. The Bombers are 5-1 on the year after bouncing back from their loss against Scranton. A very good ranked Scranton team, by the way. Scranton ranked number 10 in the nation. The Bombers bounced back last night with a huge win over Vassar in the Liberty League. Bombers 5-1. They have that confidence early on. This team, coached by Dan Raymond, this coaching staff have done a great job thus far beginning the year. The Bombers have had standouts as well, such as Zoraida Isala Batista, Emily Dorn. The Bombers have had a lot of key pieces to their contributions as to why they're 5-1 early. However, the Bombers have also been a lot of confidence, and having that confidence just results in great play and why the Bombers are 5-1.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime that you have confidence and have a huge winning record, it always helps to have that. And looking at this Bombers roster, they are a really, really experienced team with only 2 first-year players on their active roster. Dean, who are the experienced players on this Bombers team that have come back to this team and have continued to make an instant impact for this Bombers offense?
Well, the first person I'm going to have to say, Alex, is Cameron Coffey. Cameron Coffey is one of the best shooters in the Liberty League. Last year, she was one of the top shooters in terms of three-point shooting. Cameron Coffey had 16 points last night, so coming off a great game. And when Coffey has the hot hand, it is hard to stop her. When Cameron Coffey's shooting threes like Steph Curry, it is hard to defend her. So Cameron Coffey, her three-point shooting has done wonders for the Bombers. And when she shoots well, the Bombers team shoots well. So Cameron Coffey is one who has contributed. But also Cara Volpe, the grad student, last year, all Liberty League honors. Cara Volpe, part of the Liberty League winning team last year as well. Cara Volpe, her defensive presence along with 8.2 points per game, 2.3 assists, and 6.3 rebounds. Nearly a double-double, and just someone that could do it both ways, really, and not only just in terms of scoring, but also just grabbing the ball and winning the battle over the boards.
Absolutely, and rebounds are so important in basketball. One of my favorite aspects of looking at any game is obviously the rebound statistics, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later on. Switching over to this Bard team, they have really had not the start that they would have liked for this season. They are currently sitting at 1-5 and coming into this game on a 2-game losing streak. Dean, how much of a must-win is this game for the Bard Raptors in order to try and get their season back on track here after starting so poorly in the first little bit of this season?
Well, 1-5, Alex, you never want to have your season start out like that. This is a rough start for Bard, but this would be a massive win for Bard if they could get it. Bard trying to bounce back. Bard as well, have to note, a negative 21.5 scoring margin, which is one of the worst in the Liberty League's, -4 rebounding margin. So for Bard, it's about trying to close the gap and try to keep it close, but also winning the battle over glass. As we mentioned before, -4 rebounding margin. The goal for Bard here is to win the board over the glass and get those second chance points.
Absolutely. Anytime that a team can control rebounding, it can absolutely lead to them generating second chance points and ultimately getting a lot more points on the board. And as you mentioned, Dean, just a huge negative score margin for the Bard team, which is so hard to just, overcome. Anytime that you're being outscored by your opponents by 20 points, it's almost impossible to win a game. And looking at this Bard team roster, they're a pretty overall well-balanced team. I mean, 7 players on this roster are freshmen and sophomore, and 7 players are juniors and seniors. Dean, who are the players that we need to keep an eye out for on this Bard Raptors team?
Well, the first player I'd like to point out, Alex, is Tyler Grandinetti. 14 points per game on the year in scoring. She's had a magnificent start to her season, and she leads this Bard team in scoring. So for the Bombers, the goal is to also try and contain her and not let her score, get those good-looking shots. So Grandinetti is definitely a player to watch, but also May Redmond, 11.7 points per game. Bard has 2 players on the court that average more than 10 points, average in the double digits as well. So the thing is for Ithaca to try and contain these 2 players and limit their chances and opportunities of scoring. And when you can limit your 2 best players to score, that's just a good recipe to win.
Absolutely. I mean, so much of the Bard Raptors offense runs through those 2 players, and so if the Bombers can do a good job of limiting those 2, they have a good shot of winning tonight. Speaking of shots to win tonight, what are the keys, Dean, for the Bombers in order to win this game and get another statement win onto their already impressive season start?
ride with the hot hand. When your offense is rolling, especially last night, Cameron Coffee against 16 points. When you see one of your players is with the hot hand, you go to the hot hand. You give the person, again, if Coffee's the hot hand, if Volpe's the hot hand, you feed it to her. You feed it to one of them. You always let the offense ride through the hot hand. And for the Bombers, like I said, contain the Bard players that are scoring. Contain Grandinetti, contain Redmond, contain those players that you know are going to score. Limit their chances. They are going to score, but it's about limiting as much chances as possible.
Absolutely. I mean, for the Bombers, you're going to be going up against good, talented players in Grandinetti and on this Bard team. You're just going to have to try and contain them, as you said, Dean. And I think if they can do a decent job of that tonight, I think they'll have a really good shot of winning. And for the Bard Raptors, what do they need to do in order to try and get an upset here against this number 15 ranked Bomber squad?
Play your style, your pace of basketball. Force the Bombers to make mistakes. Now, you might have a negative 21 and a half scoring margin, However, do not let that overshadow you. Do not overlook that. You need to catch the Bombers sleeping. And if the Bombers are going to underestimate you in this type of game, and in these type of games too, Alex, it's about catching the opponent sleeping. So for Bard, force the Bombers to make mistakes and try to catch them napping.
Absolutely. I mean, so many times you see top-ranked teams, especially in the top 25 in national rankings, sort of underestimate some of their worst opponents, and you can see bad losses result from that may knock them out of the top 25. And so I think the Bombers so important to just keep their focus on and try and just not underestimate this Bard squad. And so I think ultimately, how do you expect this game to play out, Dean? What is your predictions and what are your expectations for this game going in, looking at all the stats?
I'm going to have to go with the Bombers on this one, Alex. I think the Bombers are going to continue to roll to 6-1 on the season. I got the Bombers today. I'm going to say it is a 30-point win for the Bombers. I'm going to go 65-35 Bombers. I think the Bombers are going to have one of their more complete games this year. But again, it's important to not overlook your opponent ever. You have to prepare for these type of games no matter what, especially against a Liberty League foe. So for the Bombers, when you're playing a Liberty League foe, it's important to not overlook these type of games.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime you're playing any team, you cannot overlook them and be way too cocky. However, I do agree with you, Dean.
Any given day.
Absolutely. Any given day, as you were saying, any team can be beat, even the best in the world, and the Bombers are certainly one of the best in the country. That ranking shows it. As we get set to hand it off to Jeremy Goldstein and Max Adams for the call, both teams are looking for a crucial conference win today. Will the Raptors be able to upset the Bombers, or will the Bombers spoil the Raptors' bus ride home? It's Bard, it's Ithaca, it's next.
Now at this time, we ask you to please rise behind our fairfield for the playing of our national anthem.
Now let's meet today's starter. First for Bard. At guard, a junior from Staten Island, New York, number 3, Jacob Denton. At guard, a first year from Brooklyn, New York, number 5, Shirley Dawn. Forward, a junior from Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 12, May Redmond. At forward, a sophomore from Syracuse, New York, number 21, Maggie Payton. And at forward, a junior from Bridgewater, New Jersey, number 44, Talia Grandinetti. The Raptors are coached by Casey Donlan.
So like their penultimate call here, we can go.
And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Ithaca College Bombers. At guard, a senior from Newtown, Pennsylvania, number 10, Natalie Smith. At guard, a senior from East Hanover, New Jersey, number 22, Cameron Coffey. At forward, a graduate student from Williston, Vermont, number 24, Lindsay Albertelli. At guard, a graduate student from Freehold, New Jersey, number 33, Kara Volpe. And at forward, a sophomore from
Is it on now?
New Jersey, number 34,
So just go.
Annabella Gorio.
Liberty League play back on the South Hill here in Ben Light Gymnasium for this edition of Bomber Basketball. Hello everybody, welcome into the booth. Max Adams here alongside Jeremy Goldstein, where we have this edition of Liberty League play where the Bard Raptors are facing off against the Ithaca College Bombers. And for the Ithaca College Bombers, it's now what we look ahead to with life after Grace Cannon and Megan Yeoman. Slow start to, or not a slow start to the season, hot start to the season, slow start this week. They picked it up last night against Vassar. What have you seen so far, Jeremy?
Right, that was a statement win by the Bombers. The Vassar Brewers are known to be one of the Liberty League contenders this year, and Ithaca comes out and blows them out on their home floor. Now you've got a Bard team as well, who's already lost 4 games by over 30 points this season, so Ithaca's trying to use that as momentum and win their second consecutive game of the weekend.
Yeah, and Jeremy, how does Bard keep this one a game? You got the defending Liberty League champs versus a team that's usually bottom half of the Liberty League. How do they keep it competitive in this one?
It'll be hard. I mean, Ithaca's known for their defense. The defense wins them games, but Bard's going to have to score a lot of points. It's simple, but that's how it is.
And we're on our way here in Ben Light Gymnasium. Albertelli wins the tip, and the Bombers take control. Albertelli takes the ball on the elbow. Kara Volpe takes the ball to the left wing, pass to Natalie Smith. Now they will set up their offense. Albertelli, top of the key, finds Coffey. Volpe goes baseline, snuffed out by Jay Dinkins, running down in the shot clock. 5 seconds left. Albertelli drives to the bucket, up for the layup, and our first points goes to Lindsay Albertelli.
No contest on that Albertelli drive. Had a wide open right block. She converts for 2.
And now Bard will look to respond. And this is where Bard, I mean, for the start of the game, it's indicative of how the rest of the game goes. If they could stay with them for maybe for most of the first half, maybe we could get a little more action in the second. But that's not a good start as Volpe gets the steal. Albertelli runs the break by herself. No foul call, but Yorio's there for the cleanup crew.
Yeah, Jay Dinkins did a good job sacrificing her body. They play on, and Yorio in the perfect spot for the second chance bucket.
And that's one thing that the Bombers have done so well in these past few years is clean up on the interior part of their offense, really control the paint. Emily Dorn has done that a lot this year, their leading scorer. Grace Cannon we saw dominate for 4 years here on South Hill. And Volpe gets another steal, runs the break, got Smith on the side of her, dishes it, right-hand layup, and that's 6 points, all on right-hand layups for the Bombers early.
Max, you said it, and that's the thing. I mean, Bard offensively, they're not handling the ball, so Ithaca's doing a great job getting in the passing lanes and stealing the ball at the optimal time.
Yep, 6 points up for the Bombers. Not a shot attempt for the Raptors yet. As they pass the Dong left wing, looks for a shot, no travel call, looks to the paint. That's Maggie Payton. That shot is rejected, goes up on Coffey, no good, and that was Grandinetti. And a foul called, a bad foul call, or not bad foul call, but a bad take foul in the backcourt by number 21, Maggie Payton.
Yeah, again, frustration on Bard's end. I thought for sure we saw Shirley Dong travel, go up and down on the left elbow. They play on. And Kara Volpe, just a rejection inside. Bard, they're not fluent. They don't have an offensive rhythm, and Ithaca's taking full advantage of that.
Absolutely. And now Volpe will look to find great pass into the left-hand layup of Albertelli, off though. But they retain possession, and they will look to reset. Oh no, Volpe has other plans. Right hand, left side, also no good Yorio again on the cleanup crew, but is called for the offensive foul.
Yeah, a couple layups you want to make if you're the Bombers, but go back to yesterday, Max. What did Ithaca do so well against Vassar to help them blow them out? They rebounded the ball offensively so well, dominated the glass. Ithaca's already doing a great job doing that against Bard today.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think this is I mean, their two best players today are, on a load management rest. But I think their controlance of the paint as yet another turnover for the Raptors as Natalie Smith looks to control the break. Left-hand layup, count it, and the foul.
It's more careless passing at the perimeter if you're a Bard. Just underhand tosses that guards like Natalie Smith, who are so quick, so agile, are going to take full advantage of every time.
Yeah.
As we see a sub here, I believe Emily Peck checking in, but Natalie Smith at the line, chance for a three-point play.
Yeah, and back to your Vassar point, yesterday's game, they've done such an excellent job controlling the paint, and their identity is made on the defensive end. So if they've been able to cause a lot of turnovers this year, which I think what we were able to see yesterday, and the final score dictated that as a 69-31 final. It's nothing to scoff at as a top 5 team in the Liberty League against the former Liberty League champs.
Ithaca comes into this game averaging over 9 steals per game.
Dong, left wing, travel. Yep. Played a little happy feet on the left wing. Got started before she really put down the ball, and Ithaca will now get the possession again. Only 1 shot or 2 shot attempts, all on the same possession so far for the Raptors.
Yeah, again, it's because they don't have a fluent offense. I don't think they have a set plays they go to that Ithaca can't read.
Do you think a lot of that comes from we got a lot of multi-sport athletes out here? Do you think that's indicative of them coming off of their fall season and kind of having to make a quick adjustment period as Albertelli now gets her sixth point of the early part of the game? I think
Ithaca's just very well. They're fundamentally sound defensively, and it's nothing they haven't seen before. They got to turn a new page in the book, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Payton takes the left wing, pass to Dong. This is Dinkins on the right wing. Passes up top to the newly into the game. Oh no, May Redmond. That was just her first touch. Air ball left wing by Dinkins. Back to Dong. Puts up the 3. Also no good. Also air ball. And Coffey retains possession.
Both of those 3-point shots, the feet weren't set, so that's why the shot was so awry on both threes.
And Coffey with the Euro step. Give me a little 1-2 with the lay. All the points coming in the paint early for the Bombers, and we have a 13-0 run to start the game.
And now 4 out of 5 Bomber starters have scored.
And now Dan Raymond looks to early empty the bench. Jill Payne, Anya Watkins, and Hannah Polche set to check into the game. As May Redmond takes ball top of the key, looks to find something offensively. Shirley Dong just says, I'll try to take it in my own hands. Tray ball is good.
And there you go, Shirley Dong. We saw her play with a little bit of confidence at the top of the game and finally gets a clean look, and she knocks it down.
And Jeremy, 2 scorers in this ball game. Volpe goes up and gets fouled, but 2 scorers in this ball game are among top 10 in Liberty League, and none of them are from Ithaca College's side. We got Talia Grandetti, 4th at 14 points a game, and May Redmond is at 11.5. She ranks 7th in the Liberty League, and they haven't gotten them going yet.
A lot of that, Max, is because of look at Bard's roster size. I believe they're at 9 total players, so players are going to have to carry the load if this team's going to score points, and a couple of them have done that. And as Volpe hits the first again, this is a Bard team that's lost 4 games already this season by 30-plus points. So I don't think they really care about the scoring. I think they care about the result at the end.
Yeah, I think that will prove to be true and really, very telling down the stretch of this game as Kara Volpe misses the second of 2. But they get the offensive rebound, retain possession. Kara Volpe will look to make up for it. Looks baseline, finds Jill Payne, who finds Cameron Coffey. Up fake, no shot. Yorio, a little extended for her. Coffey, tray ball, pure.
Coffey was found the rhythm yesterday, knocked down a pair of tray balls, and knocks down her first attempt of the day, I should say, here.
Yeah, and Jeremy, she, coming into the year, was thought to be the 3-point shooter. But this far, slow start to the season, just 2 of 22 entering Tuesday's game, 20% now on the season, and they need her to up that number in an advanced role this season.
I'm confident she will as well.
As a foul call, I think they'll get Anya Watkins for the reach-in on the entry pass. They will. That'll be her first, and Bard will take the ball out underneath.
Going to Anya Watkins, somebody who's really not talked about too much, the sophomore out of Penfield, New York. Very good rebounder. She's very aggressive down low. She's she's going to be a big part of this offensive rebounding ability if it continues to develop throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I believe so, and especially, I think Dan Raymond, the more bodies he has that take over the paint, the better. As she is in there with a great box out and rebound, an outlet pass to Hannah Polche, they're looking to run. She slows down, sets up the offense, finds Coffee. Coffee takes the top of the key, finds Jill Payne, who was open, chose not to take it. Now Watkins will take it baseline.
And Shea Sabino, another sophomore, getting ready to check in here.
Watkins, right wing. Looking for something, nothing available. She finds Jill Payne, tray ball, in and out.
Lots of confidence. No reason for the Bombers to not play with confidence shooting the basketball today, and we've seen it from a wide display of players. We're going to see 10 players actually check in as Brady Lynch also at the scorer's table.
I had a feeling we'd see a lot of Brady Lynch this afternoon as Jill Payne is called for what looks like a blocking foul. Nope, she got called for a hand check. Still her foul nonetheless. And Lynch and Sabino will enter the game. So a complete second unit out here early for Dan Raymond. And like I was saying, Brady Lynch was somebody that I thought in the absence of Emily Dorn, we're going to see a lot of today. And checking in this early in the game proves that is a very good hypothesis.
Yeah, and looking at what this game has looked like, this might be a great day to try out some of your depth.
Grandinetta in there drives and a strong finish at the rack to get her scoring output going on the day. Polche wide open, chooses to set up the offense more.
Make it 11 players checking in, Max.
Yep, Grayson Dubin set the check in. Polche left wing, finds Sabino in the corner. Shot clock winding down, 7 seconds. Polche, head fake, finds Watkins, mid-range jumper, off the mark. And that's going to be a shot clock violation going the other way for the Raptors.
Yeah, that didn't get rimmed. Not a shot that's really in Anya Watkins' repertoire. However, open look, had to shoot it at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, that was the best thing that they could have gotten out of the possession. I thought Polche had a couple opportunities to pull the three. She is the best shooter on this team statistically this season, I think shooting at 33%. And, that's her role, but she didn't take it. And she gets it right back, though, makes up for it on the other end. Grayson Dubin looks to control the break. Had Brady Lynch, but pulls it back out. And they will set up the offense. Watkins to Polche. Trying to find somebody open. Dubin, right-hand drive, blocked by Grandinetti.
Very good defensive play by Grandinetti there. She plays great help defense, comes on the baseline, and doesn't make contact with Dubin, gets a clean block off. It's a very well-executed defensive stop.
A force pass into Brady Lynch into double coverage, and we're going to get a jump ball going the other way.
Let's make it 2 defensive plays by Grandinetti that have stood out. Same possession, Max. She dives on the floor with a loose ball. Brady Lynch, the taller player, but for sure, but she doesn't shy away from contact, and she creates a turnover.
Yeah, even if this game isn't close, I think that Grandinetti will leave her mark all over this game. She'll probably be in for the vast majority of it. She plays hard, she plays in the paint, and that's where she makes her mark. Redmond up for the jumper, blocked by Watkins. Bombers looking to run. Polche has Sabino. Catches her on the trail. Tray ball, no good. Back iron. Controlled by Peck. Dong's got a one-on-one with Polche. No help in the paint. Chooses not to take it. Kicks it out to Peck. Kicks it to Grandinetti. Kicks it out to Peck. Polche almost got another one, just too late. Dong controls it. Up for the floater. Back irons. Controlled by Sabino.
Shirley Dong, clearly the best ball handler on this Bard team. She was able to create some space, but couldn't get the shot to go down.
If they keep it swinging, Grayson Dubin's right open in the corner. Chooses not for the shot, though. Cross-court pass. Got one more. Polche, tray ball. No good. Up. An offensive rebound by Grayson Dubin, and she'll shoot 2.
Yeah, Dubin in the right spot at the right time. Does a good job drawing contact and throwing a shot up at the rim, and she's going to get 2 free shots here. As Jade Dinkins checks back in, as well as Maggie Payton. So a couple starters returning to action for the Raptors.
Grayson Dubin on the line, 2 shots.
Grayson Dubin, her first free throw attempts of this young season.
Again, she hasn't really played significant minutes this year, and you look at her getting an opportunity in the first quarter.
Misses the front end of 2. Second one is up. And she is officially 50% for the season. Dong will bring it down. Pressure by Dubin. Switch off to Watkins. Not a favorable matchup for Dong, and she does kick it off. Saved by Lynch. And Dinkins controls it. Pass to Dong. Right wing. Got nothing. Losing handle. Grandinetti takes control. Tries to find anything available. And she gets hacked over the top by Lynch.
You look at that. So first, we see Shirley Dong create some space on a drive, and now Grandinetti draws a double team and gets hit. So again, it's still 18-5. Bard not off to the best start, but we're seeing some more competitive offensive possessions, which is a good sign for them, but it's just about seeing the ball go through the basket now. Yeah. Chance for a couple points here at the line for Grandinetti.
The easiest thing to do, as Grandinetti takes the first of 2, rims out. The easiest thing to do in a struggling offense where you have no motion, no set plays or anything, just drive and kick. Something will open up.
It's about finding your shooters. We saw Shirley Dong knock down a 3 earlier in the game.
Grandinetti hits the second.
And a great improvement on that free throw. The first attempt by Grandinetti was a line drive, no arc on it, and then that one had more hang time on it, so to speak.
I think so. I think that's why she saw success. Brady Lynch gets the ball on the inside, is tripped up. I think they're going to get Maggie Payton there. Yep, with a blocking foul. Bombers were taken out of bounds.
Yeah, they tried to double Brady Lynch there, but I don't think they really knew what they were doing on the collapse. They kind of just hit her. Didn't really play stature defense. They kind of just almost tackled her, essentially. So got to play defense with your feet, not with your hands. Brady Lynch at the line for 2 shots.
Yeah, Raptors already in the bonus. And I was going to say, too, that was the second straight possession that they tried to force it into Brady Lynch into double team. Luckily, she was able to catch this one, but she misses the front end of 2.
Another free throw there. Just like we saw on the other end, Max, a line drive, right? You want to see more hang time on that.
Gotta get your legs into it, as your dad would tell you in the driveway. Second of 2. Front rim, controlled by Dong. She has Dinkins on the other end, chooses not to go to it, but finds Redmond. Tray ball, no good, left iron. And Dubin controls the rebound, hacked by Dinkins.
And look, Bard's in this game. This is by far, by any stretch of the imagination, not a blowout yet. And we're seeing Bard held themselves back by just silly fouls. That was a foul in the backcourt that was nowhere near necessary. Now in the penalty with 58.7 to go in the quarter, Grayson Dubin's getting free throws 3 and 4.
Yeah, let's see if she can up it to 75 after this trip. Nope. Off front end. So the best she could do is keep her percentage at 50% at this young season. Here with the second shot. And she does. Well, she's 100% on the second leg of 2 free throws. So, I mean, if that means anything. But Dong will look to set up the offense. Get a productive possession at the end of the first. 50 seconds left. But it's blocked by Dubin, snuffed out. Off on Dubin. Raptors will retain possession, but a great defensive effort there by Dubin, and early minutes in this game, making the most of them early.
Does a great job not leaving her feet and committing contact. She gets all ball, and Bard will take it underneath.
This is Payton underneath, kick to Redmond, their second leading scorer. Gets up, no foul call, great up and down by Watkins, but Grandinetti showing the hustle. No call. We got a jump ball. It's going the other way. But great hustle by Grandinetti, showing a lot of heart early in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's the 3rd or 4th time we've seen Grandinetti just dive to the floor after the ball. But lots of lack of awareness in terms of the backcourt off a rebound. You got to secure the basketball. I think pretty much failed to do that, but they get possession off the jump ball.
Ithaca seemingly looking to run every defensive rebound opportunity. I think then they just didn't see that they didn't have the fast break available to them. And now they will get possession. Watkins, mid-range jumper, short. And Bombers will retain possession underneath.
I want to see May Redmond be stronger on that rebound. Sabino essentially knocks it off her when she's behind her. That was close to an over-the-back foul. If you're Redmond, you got to go up for it. She kind of stood flat-footed there.
Yeah, I saw the same. And they'll look to make up for it here. Sabino wide open in the corner. Tray ball, pure.
Shea Sabino, one of those faces we didn't see too much last year, but she's a shooter. Knocked down a couple threes earlier this season. She's going to be a big part of this
Clock
offense.
winding down. Peyton at the buzzer. Shuffle her feet. No good anyways. We got .8 left in the quarter. I can only assume that it's just going to be a quick inbound, and that'll be the end of it. Yeah, Sabino.
A lot of players, too, Max, sorry to interrupt, they don't like to take the shot because they don't want to ruin their percentage.
That's true. That's
Hannah
true.
Polche agrees.
Yep. Yeah, not a very high percentage shot, but at the end of first, we got a 22-6 lead in favor of the Ithaca College Bombers.
Yeah, I mean, we saw 11 Bombers check into this game, Max. A lot of players got some looks. Starters really didn't play too many minutes at all. But if you're Bard, I think we saw them get somewhat better offensively throughout the course of the quarter, but they couldn't knock down their looks. But for me, their biggest struggle is rebounding right now. They're not going up strong for the ball, and they got to create possession as much as they can. Secondly, it's the silly fouls. I think they got a lot of free throws, a lot more than they should have gotten in that first quarter. So room for improvement if you're on the for sure if you're on the Raptors end of things. But I really feel like it's doable in a timeout or a quarter break.
Yeah, you mentioned the rebounding advantage so far, and I think, Ithaca doesn't tower over Bard that much in their units, but they do have some length. The wingspan between people like Brady Lynch, people like Shea Sabino, Annabelle Urio, Lindsay Abertelli, they're able to get so many blocks, to get so many rebounds underneath that it's hard for a team like this, whose tallest player, that checks into the game is 6 foot, but then she has no help underneath. You play a 3-4 guard set with one big out there, not really much you can do rebounding-wise.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of players on Bard, regardless of their height, get inside, but they really don't necessarily know how to draw contact and get up a quality shot, and that's what Ithaca's done so well. They're very good at double teaming, providing help defense inside. On the other end of things, Bard hasn't really seen a look, and now we're seeing Isabella Middleman check in. So, correct me if I'm wrong.
Bomber.
Every eligible Bomber to play in this game today is now seeing the floor, and we're at the beginning of the second quarter. We're seeing Natalie Smith, the starting point guard, come in as well, and A.B. Yorio as well coming in. So that's 2 Bomber starters returning, and then Sabino and Jillian Payne round out the rest of the unit.
Yeah, you would be right, my friend, as the Bombers have 4 out today. So this is the entire team being displayed out here, and just the beginning of the second quarter. And Dinkins will look to take advantage of the first offensive possession of the second quarter. Kicks it to Grandinetti, who looks to drive in on Urio, but too many steps.
Yeah. She looked like she wasn't in control. She was off balance on the whole drive. You could tell as her feet kind of slipped. And another turnover for Bard.
And Middleman will control it, running the point. Kicks it to Payne. Payne finds Sabino, right wing. Natalie Smith will look to set everybody into motion. Running a 5-out here. Yorio now inside. Sabino is still open after a make, but they'll swing it around, try to find the best shot possible. Find Sabino in the corner, 5 seconds in the shot clock. Step back 3, short.
Good defense by Bard in the perimeter. Ithaca really never drove to the basket, and the Raptors defense did a good job.
Yeah, very stagnant possession for the Bombers. As Grandinetti up for 3, no good, but offensive rebound by Peyton. Almost walked, but kicks it to Grandinetti just in time. Gets it up, and Sabino will get her first foul of the game.
Great pump fake by Grandinetti there. She didn't. Sabino left her feet just a little bit, and then that was all it takes. We'll see if they can convert at the line for 2. Coach Raymond's going to call a timeout here, Max. He doesn't like what he sees to start the second.
Well, not a lot of motion on that first offensive possession of the second quarter. Just a lot of, they ran a 5-out, but then everyone stayed where they started. They had everybody in the corner. Urio did kick down at one point to the elbow, but that's as far as they got.
And you have to think, right? Like, especially to start a quarter where you're seeing a lot of players get opportunities to play minutes they might normally get to play, you want to see them be more aggressive. You want to see them be the aggressor on offensive possessions like the one we just saw previously. And they're shying away from contact, shying away from taking the ball to the basket. You don't want to see that.
No, that's not, especially at this point in the game where buckets are at a premium right now, because you started off the game with a 13-0 run. You could only expand this game and get your starters some rest, but that kind of offense will not get the job done. And now Grandinetti will shoot 2. Grandinetti, a 57% shooter on the season from the line, makes the front end.
And comparing the Bard team I saw last year, I mean, this team is clearly already better at getting to the free throw line. It's about execution when they get there.
Absolutely. And this is the first, correct me if I'm wrong, that's the first both free throws made from the line this game. Connecting on both was Grandinetti.
That is correct.
Hoping for a little better offensive possession here for the Bombers. Kicks it to Sabino baseline, and she throws it away, and it'll be a backcourt for the Bombers unless Natalie Smith chooses to not pick it up, which she does.
Yeah, look at Coach Raymond here. Say, calm down, right? There's no need for urgency. You're up 15 against a defense that hasn't shown too many signs of life. No reason to panic. No reason for turnovers like that.
Dinkins kicks it out to Dong, looks for her shot, gets past Smith. Bank shot, no good. Controlled by Smith.
Great head fake by Dong because she kind of just chucked it off the backboard there.
Yorio alone on the other end, gets her feet taken out and will shoot 2, and that is Grandinetta's second foul. I thought she was going to have 3. This is her second foul.
And that's more the offense on a break that Coach Raymond's going to want to see. A hard cut to the basket by A.B. Yorio on the left block, draws contact, going to the line for 2.
Yeah, it seems like they're a lot more comfortable coming off of the defensive rebound as Yorio hits the front end. And they were looking to run out right away, but when they have to run sets, they're not completing those thus far. But Yorio, second straight trip to the free throw line where somebody has hit 2 of 2. Gets her next points of the game, and Dong will bring it down. Dong looking for something inside, not getting anything. Guard by the taller Sabino. Dinkins, long 2, no good off the back iron. And Yorio's pushing it. A pocket pass to Natalie Smith, who's got Sabino right behind her, but instead chooses it to throw to the assistant coaching staff of the Bard Raptors.
Yeah, she threw that to Coach Casey Donnell in there. And if Natalie Smith just looked behind her, I know it's hard to do that on a break. Shea Sabino was wide open in the corner for a 3.
Yeah, I saw the same thing you did, Jeremy. Dong finds Dinkins right wing, looks inside for Grandinetti, who's got the mismatch on Smith, but can't get it to go inside.
Good backspin there. She was just too far under the basket to get a quality shot off.
Spino kicks to Smith, who kicks to Middleman. Looking for something. Again, a lot of standing around for the Bomber offense. To Middleman. Payne had the open 3, chooses not to take it. Looking for a better shot, can't find any. Shot clock winding down again. Yorio inside, kicks it back out to Sabino. One more to Natalie Smith. Takes the mid-range, got it. Smooth from Natalie Smith. The dimer in long sleeves.
I know Ethan Birch said this on the previous broadcast as Bard's going to take a timeout here, but Natalie Smith last year does not take that shot. That's a very confident drive and pull-up by the senior point guard. She had a wide-open Isabella Middleman at the top of the arc for a 3, but instead she hesitates, pulls up the mid-range, and knocks it down. If Natalie Smith can do that consistently, this Bomber team can be, again, at the very least, just as dangerous as they were last year.
Yeah, and we talk about life after Grace Cannon and Megan Yaman. Natalie Smith now insert for Megan Yaman. Megan Yaman was one of the better three-point shooters on the team, as well as seemingly the emotional leader throughout that season last year. And now I think Natalie Smith is more inserted into her role now. You see her at calming everybody down, controlling the offense, taking smart shots, not forcing anything. And I think that's what you need from a starting point guard in a year where your leaders are now at the door.
Right. Ithaca, regardless of, Cannon, Yaman, whatever, they have 2 point guards who are very good floor generals and ball handlers in both Natalie Smith and Hannah Polche, and they're going to rely on both of their consistencies a lot.
And that will be definitely something to keep an eye on throughout the season. Dong, step back, jumper, back iron, tapped out of bounds. It looked like Grandinetti tipped that out of bounds, but they're going to give it to the Raptors.
You got to give credit because Bard's getting bodies underneath on a lot of offensive possessions, and they're creating second chances. They're just not converting.
Grandinetti takes it baseline on the out-of-bounds play, and we're going to get a foul call?
It's before the shot, I believe.
2 questionable calls in a row in favor of Grandinetti and the Raptors, and they'll take it out underneath. Looked like Polche there had her hands out the whole time, and Grandinetti had nowhere to go. But she will take the post fade.
Look at that.
That was pretty.
Watkins didn't get too much of a hand up, but Grandinetti's playing with lots of confidence right now. That's all it takes sometimes.
Yeah. All you need is one person to be aggressive to show everybody else on your team that might be there for the rest of the game. Kick inside, great ball movement, Watkins for 2.
And Coach Raymond loves it. That's the first time we've really seen him celebrate an offensive bucket.
Yeah, I think for Dan Raymond, what he's looking for is the more passes and less dribbles, the better. As Dong takes it inside, kicks it out to Redmond. Redmond looks to drive inside, kicks it to Dinkins. Another great possession of ball movement, but Dinkins can't convert their short 2. Polche will run in transition, has nobody with her, so she'll kick it back out. Finds Middleman, who finds Coffee. Payne out to the right side to Polche. She'll look to find anything that'll get them the best shot on this possession. They're taking a lot of the shot clock early in this game as Middleman, first shot of the game, pure. I'll tell you something right now. I was watching warm-ups. Isabella Middleman did not miss a jump shot.
I know.
If you leave her that open, she'll convert.
And that's the travel on Shirley Dong. She's got an unconventional release, but she knocks it down. I'm sure getting in a game like this, your bench loves to see things like that. I'm sure she's gonna. That's what it's going to be a memory of this season for her for sure.
Absolutely.
The first bucket.
Absolutely, and Middleman showing a little life in this crowd. That was the loudest we've heard it this far in the first half. And she will take it down the floor and maybe look for another one. Polche to Payne. Payne to Coffee. Has Polche wide open. Kicks it into Watkins. Ticky-tack foul called on Maggie Payton, but a foul call nonetheless.
That's another one of those fouls, right? I mean, this is on the catch. It's not like she's even going up, and you got to play defense. You don't want to force your body into the pass receiver there. So again, it's these fouls that are really holding Bard back from staying in this game.
And Grananetti will get her first rest of the game as Polche finds Lynch inside, can't convert, but she is fouled.
So Bard team again, their roster is not deep. So you really can't afford to see foul trouble from a lot of these players.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree mightily because, I mean, Grananetti has been the lone aggressor for that Raptors offense.
Maggie Payton already 3 fouls as well.
Brady Lynch now 0 for 3 on the game from the line.
If you're Ithaca, right, this half hasn't been perfect. A lot of struggles from the free throw line as well, something you want to improve upon.
Yeah, I think, Dan Raymond will take the 22-point lead, but he's definitely going to have, you're not going to get showered with compliments when you enter the locker room. And now newly into the game, Emily Peck and Anna El Athanajo. Shirley Dong kicks it, looks for something, kicks it to Dinkins. Dinkins drives inside, pass to Peck, shot fake, no shot. Dong will take it and will hit the back iron. Middleman slows the offense down, looks for something smarter. Kicks it to Polche, swinging it around the key. Finds Watkins, finds Middleman up top, who finds Payne, wide open for 3, tray ball, short.
But if they're by Hannah Polche as well, we're going to see Grayson Dubin, check right back in along with Grandinetti. Julian Payne hit a 3 yesterday at the end of the half against Vassar from that deep right corner you see on your screen there.
And getting more shot attempts. Payne only appeared in 5 games last year, and in the last 3 games, I think we've seen her get about 12 shot attempts up in significant minutes.
Well, she was hurt for a little bit last year, so being healthy to start the season certainly helping her case.
Yep. Good early signs to see that that's something you have in the repertoire as Maggie Payton pulls up short jumper is no good. Gets on the floor now. The Bombers have a 4-on-5 as Middleman isn't pushing, but the Bombers are encouraging her to do so. And now they'll have to reset. Finds Payne. Lynch to Middleman. Kicks back out to Dubin. Tray ball. Good.
Grayson Dubin getting a look. On a lot of these possessions, we're seeing lots of open shooters behind the line, and now Dubin started to knock them down. That's a good sign.
Yep. It's all about secondary players in this matchup and what you might have out of them for the rest of the season, as Shirley Dong takes a turnaround jumper. It is no good early in the shot clock, mind you. And Maggie Payton is moving gingerly up the court for Bard, and she just signaled to her Middleman, hop step inside. Think she got just one too many.
Yeah, we saw that similarly on Bard's end earlier. She kind of just skipped, and her feet couldn't stay planted on the ground, so that's going to result in the walk.
Yeah, I'm sure Dan Raymond appreciates the aggressiveness from Middleman, trying to take advantage of her early minutes in this game. But, I'm sure the travel could have been lived without. As Shirley Dong will take control. Look to set up the offense. Hezzy, move inside, turn around, got it. And now we're seeing Shirley Dong take that aggressive role while Grandinetti kind of takes a back seat and lets her do what she does. Sabino passes up the open three. She has one already this game. They're continuing to leave her wide open, so she'll take it. No good. Followed by Dubin, also no good.
It's a layup you want to make, but again, good transition defense by Ithaca to stop the break.
Leaves Redmond. Brady Lynch does close out, forcing her to pass the ball up. And now Dinkins will look to find something else. Peck loses the ball, controlled by Middleman. Got Britt Lynch running with her. Fast break, goes to Euro, stripped by Grandinetti.
Dubin's wide open on the left wing, and
yeah, nobody is coming her in the same spot that she just hit that shot. Same thing with Sabino. They are not moving on those corners of the 2-3 zone. And now Grandinetti will pick up her third of the ball game.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing, right? They get the ball into a Brady Lynch and Anya Watkins, and Bard has not been able to respond without fouling, and that's been one of their kryptonites in this first half.
Yeah, I think that's now 3 straight possessions where we've seen somebody just absolutely naked on one of the wings. And that's just something that can't happen. Not as a historically great bomber shooting team to this early point in the season, but nonetheless, those are too good of looks to give up to a team like this, as Lynch takes advantage of the size mismatch, gets her first points of the game.
You know Maggie Payton in this game right now, so Lynch takes full advantage of that.
Dong looks to continue her hot stretch, but dribbles the ball off her knee, and it's going the other way again. Dubin open in that same spot again, chooses not to take it. The Bombers are just seeming too nice at this point, not taking all the open shots that are being given to them. Middleman has the open look, looks to get another one, no good, but she gets it back. Leaving her open again, chooses not to take it. Dubin with the up fake, dish inside, great ball movement by the Bombers. Maybe got away with the travel, but Dubin got an open three, no good, long. Watkins controls the rebound, can't put it back in.
Yeah, she kind of put that up a little too quickly. Dinkins was on her back. She had time. Rushed the shot a little bit.
Yep, and those are points I'm sure Watkins would love to have back. That's a couple of those that she's missed now. As May Redmond didn't miss that one, gets it for 2. 1 minute to go in this first half of basketball. Dubin wide open by herself. Watkins can't get that one to go, but she is fouled and she will shoot 2.
Trying to see who that's on here.
That would be Athanasia.
So we have 2 players with 3, a player with 2. It's going to be tough to play this game maybe without staying out of foul trouble, especially in the second half if you're Bard.
Absolutely, and this shorthand roster that they have. Those key players, Maggie Payton and Grandinetti, those inside presence are important for this team to even make this not a 25-point game. Watkins missed the first one. We'll look to convert on the second, and she does. Redmond will take it down, kick it to Athanasia, and newly into the ball game, Nitya Goyal, the first-year guard from India. Winding down in the shot clock, under 10. May Redmond takes it inside, left-hand layup, gets it to go. Some encouraging signs in 2 straight possessions, 2 left-hand layups for May Redmond. 15 seconds left to go. Lynch, count it, and the foul. A tough move by Brady Lynch. A strong move, taking advantage of that height mismatch that is left out on the floor right now. And that's the second straight possession where she got the ball and attacked.
Ithaca's got a handful of players on this team who can finish through contact so nicely, and Lynch does it there. Looking to convert the 3-point play at the line.
She'll look here. 1 for 4 on the day is Lynch at the line. Make it 1 for 5. Sabino does get the rebound, and I'm sure the Bombers will look to take the last shot of the first half. Middleman, 7, 6, finds Dubin, who finds Sabino at the buzzer. No good.
At the end of the second quarter,
And at the end of the first half, the Bombers are in control. as we all thought they would. 40-16 Bombers, and we will kick it back off to Dean Gutik for the halftime show. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Ben Light Gymnasium as the Ithaca Bombers at halftime. Hello everyone, I am Alex Schubert. Alongside me is Dean Gutic. And Dean, what has happened in this first half? I mean, a runaway game for the Bombers. What has happened in this first half to allow them to go out to such an extensive lead?
Well, it is a 24-point lead for the Bombers, Alex. The Bombers women's basketball team leads over Bard 40-16 at halftime, and just a really one-sided game if you look at it. The Bombers shooting a lot better than Bard. Bard 20% from three, 24% from the field. Bombers 45% from the field, 30% from three. The Bombers have been shooting better, but you know what it is? They're just Bard's also fouling, sending them to the line more. They keep fouling. The Bombers are winning the battle over the glass, 24-15, 10-5 in offensive rebounds. And on top of that, you got to look at the turnovers. 10 turnovers for Bard, 4 for Ithaca. I would say really more so sloppy play on Bard's end compared to Ithaca. Now, Ithaca has made a couple of mistakes, don't get me wrong, especially the 4 turnovers. But I would say, if anything, it's more so just the mistakes from Bard that are hurting them even more this game. We said before the game, you mentioned the negative 21.5 scoring margin, 24 right now. Bard just beating themselves here with mistake after mistake after mistake.
Absolutely. Anytime that you commit 10 turnovers and a half, you're going to be down quite a lot of points, and ultimately Bard is just shooting themselves in the foot almost. I mean, anytime that Bard is getting any sort of offensive movement, it seems like they're just turning the ball over and not being able to put up points, and that is killing them absolutely in this first half. And I mean, you look at second chance points, and that is such a key tell, and it tells you the rebound margin, as Dean mentioned, 24-15 in the Bombers' favor. Second chance points are also in the Bombers' favor because of that, 9-4 in second chance points towards the Bombers. I mean, it's just an absolute domination so far in the first half. Who have you seen from both sides that have really contributed to their team's offense?
Well, first I wanted to say, Alex, before I continue that, 20 points for Ithaca in the paint, 10 for Bard. They're just beating them. You know, in football, there's a saying, winning in the trenches. The Bombers are winning in the paint. I mean, there's no other way to put it right there. And they've just been doing a great job, playing disciplined basketball with the exception of a few turnovers. But really, the players that have stood out to me, Natalie Smith has made her presence known, scoring a few, Cameron Coffey as well. And I mentioned before the game, when Cameron Coffey is hot, she is hot. She keeps on going. She'll shoot that ball, and she'll shoot it well. And here's the thing, it goes in any sport. When you're playing against someone that is just making shot after shot, it's hard to stop. Natalie Smith, 7 points, 3 for 3 from the field. Cameron Coffey, 5 points, 2 for 2 from the field. 1 3-pointer. Just both players, Smith and Coffey, shooting the ball really well. But if you want to look at the defensive side, I have to give credit where credit's due to Volpe. Volpe, 2 steals and 1 block. Volpe making a huge impact on the defensive side of the ball.
Absolutely. I mean, another sort of underrated player is Isabella Middleman. She's been getting solid points coming off, or solid minutes, coming off the bench for the Bombers, and she's been doing a really good job locking up Bard's Dong, who is one of their better players and one of their best guards on this team. She is 1 for 2 with a 3-pointer, with 2 rebounds, an assist, and a steal on the night so far. And she has done a really good job of just sort of locking down the guard position against this Bard College Raptors team, and who on the Bard side has done at least somewhat of a good job in order to try and get Bard some points in this first half, even though they do not really have all that many.
Well, I'd have to say one of our players that we had watching heading into this game, I mean, you look at Grandinetti, 7 points so far, 2 of 4 from the field. I mean, she's the only one keeping him in. Also, Dong as well with 5 points. So 12 points combined between the 2 players and everybody else not scoring. Redmond does have 4 points, but I'd say Grandinetti and Dong, 12 points combined between the 2. Grandinetti and Bond, Alex, have 12 out of the 16 points combined that Bard has here at halftime, which just goes the volume to show the struggles for Bard so far.
Absolutely. I mean, anytime a team is only having 3 players on their roster that are actually scoring points, it's going to be really hard for them to accomplish anything offensively. And I mean, talking about this Bard Raptors team, what do you think the Bard Raptors need to do in order to try and get something going to try and get back into this lopsided game?
Well, first I'd have to say play defense. I mean, there were a few possessions, Alex, where players like Sabino are just wide open, Dubin as well. You have to defend the 3 and defend players. I know you're down big at halftime, but the game is not over. The game is never, as they once say, the game is never over until the clock hits 0. And again, I understand you're down big. You're playing an Ithaca team that's red hot, 5-1, ranked 15th, but that doesn't mean it's over. Any given day, any given moment. So for Bard, it's really about closing out on defense, but also playing disciplined basketball, not turning the ball over, not fouling. You need to stay disciplined and not hand Ithaca points. So really just disciplined basketball, and you got to tighten up on defense.
Absolutely. I mean, so many times in the first half, it almost seemed like the Bombers had wide open players from three. Even though they weren't necessarily taking advantage of that in the first half, they were absolutely just wide open. So many wide open possessions for the Bombers. And also, you mentioned personal fouls. It is in the Bombers' favor right now. Bard committing 12 personal fouls to the Bombers' 6.
Well, here's the thing, and you mentioned the Bombers, by the way, not taking advantage of the open shots. Eventually, though, down the stretch, they're going to start making those, and the more that happens, the more that Ithaca's going to score. And the fouls as well, you have to watch the fouls if you're Bard.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I think Ithaca, their main adjustment probably going into the second half is going to be starting to take those open looks. And as I'm mentioning the Bombers, what do you think the Bombers need to do to just open up this game even more and either keep or extend their lead?
There's a few times on the touchline where Coach Raymond was like, slow down, calm down. So if the Bombers play your pace of basketball, play your game, you don't have to rush everything. You're up 24 points, 40-16. You don't have to rush. You don't have to go fast. You're in control of this game. Slow down play. When the shots are open, take those open shots, and defensively, continue to do what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I mean, something that I forgot to mention in the pregame show is that I was actually here last year when this Ithaca Bombers team played the same Bard Raptors, and the game went about the same way. It was an absolute blowout for the Bombers and a massive home statement win, and it seems like it's going to be another massive statement win for the Bombers as we get set to hand it back over to Jeremy Goldstein and Max Adams for the second half call. We'll see if Bard can do anything in order to get back into this game, or Ithaca will simply just run away with this ball game. Stay tuned.
Second half between Ithaca College and Bard here at Ben Light Gymnasium on the South Hill alongside Max Adams. I'm Jeremy Goldstein. Not the most competitive of first halves, Max, but we saw a deep Bomber team create a 24-point lead halfway through.
Yeah, I think they just took advantage of the lack of ball handling coming from the Bard Raptors side. A lot of early steals, a lot of transition points, a lot of fast breaks, and this is what we thought was going to happen. I mean, Bard has at times showed a little bit of fight, but every time they show a little bit of fight, Ithaca just shows them how much that fight means very little as we sit as a 34-point deficit so far.
It looks like Ithaca's giving care of Hopi the rest of this game off. She hasn't played since the first quarter. Most of the starters come out. We see three of them. Anya Watkins, as well as Hannah Polche in there as well, with A.B. Yorio, Cam Coffey, and Natalie Smith.
Oh, it was a 24-point margin, not a 34-point margin. That was bad math. I'm a sports media major. My fault.
We had to travel on Natalie Smith to start this one off. Shirley Dong will bring it up for Bard. Bard got the majority of their points from the free throw line for a good portion of that half before we saw some made field goals towards the end. They trail by 24 here.
Yeah, if nothing else is going for your offense, typically the best course of action is just to go inside, hope for a foul, get those 2 free points at the line.
Dong floater, no good off back iron. Rebound by Grandinetti, she puts it home off glass.
A tough cleanup crew layup. Grandinetti showing a lot of heart in this game despite the high deficit.
Natalie Smith working the offense to the free throw line for Yorio. Nice pass pass and cut. Natalie Smith on the right block.
And that's an encouraging sign to see from your two of your starters out of the gate. Good two-man game, good motion. Dan Raymond, I'm sure, loves to see it.
Natalie Smith now with 9 points on the afternoon. Grandinetti on the left wing to Dinkins in the deep corner. Dinkins to May Redmond, top of the key, 3, splash.
Wow. That was a smooth-looking jumper and a smooth game. The last 3 shots from 12 in black have been awesome. May Redmond, 2 left-hand layups and a pure 3 from the top of the key.
Left block for Smith. Tries to find Yorio, but it goes to Watkins. Deep corner, Polche inside for AB. Yorio finds a cutting Watkins. She's double-teamed and she's fouled.
That might be it for Maggie Payton, or is that her 4th?
Going to be her 4th foul.
4th foul.
Maggie Payton, the best interior defender in terms of height, you could say, Max, and she's down to her last hit.
Yep, but coach leaving her out there. You got to find some spark somewhere, and you got to keep your best players out in the game in a game that is almost decided.
Cameron Coffey rattles home the triple try, and it's 45-21 Bombers. Ithaca responds with a 3 of their own on the offensive end of the floor. Here's Shirley Dong. Guarded one-on-one by Natalie Smith. No screen. Now she uses a Maggie Payton screen. Drives right side, guarded tightly by Watkins. Had Dinkins momentarily, but keeps it. Pivots, and she's gonna. They look like maybe a travel. They're gonna call jump ball. Possession stays with Barb.
Yeah, Polche did get a palm on that for a very, very slight moment, and I guess it was enough since Dong was able to put it back down on the floor to be called a jump ball.
Payton has to go to the bench. They're gonna bring in Emily Peck as a replacement for her.
I was just going to say, too, Payton in those actions, that could be dangerous for an illegal screen, so I wouldn't suggest that as Polche gets called for a foul.
Blocking foul called by Hannah Polche on the May Redmond cut. Bard will take it underneath. So lots of off the ball, or not even off the ball, but non-shooting fouls defensively by both sides. That's really made this game a lot choppier than it might need to be.
Yeah, and very early in the second half, that could spell early bonus for one of these teams.
Redmond's 3 off the top of the glass didn't come close. Ithaca will rush it back up right to left. Smith to Hannah Polche. Goes to the top of the key for Cameron Coffey, who finds Anya Watkins on the left wing. Finds Polche in the near side corner. Long 2. No good. Rebound Dinkins.
That was the first time today I think somebody took the first look that they got at an open shot. Not the best, though, for a long 2.
Inside to Grandinetti, working one-on-one with Watkins, puts up a tough shot. It goes to Dinkins, who puts up the lefty layup, no good. Rebound Hannah Polche underneath the basket. Outlet pass to Smith. Smith cuts up towards the middle, and the layup is good. Natalie Smith, second field goal of the half. Ithaca extends the lead.
We got to get her a nickname that coincides with smooth. I think Butter's already taken, but we got to find something before the end of the game.
Here's a
her
stat.
game has been great.
And here's a stat for you, Max. So Natalie Smith, the first Bomber to reach double-digit points, and now looking at both end, only 3 Bard Raptors have tallied points today. Grandinetti's one of the 3. She works on the right block on Smith, puts up a tough shot, got it to go.
And that's that aggressiveness, that's that heart that she keeps showing, giving her team a little spark of life, and then gets on the floor.
Talia Grandinetti now in double digits herself. She's got 11 as Bard cuts the deficit to 24. Grayson Dubin also checking back in for the Bombers. She's got 5 points and has played a significant amount of minutes. She's on pace to play her most games in her most minutes, in a collegiate game in her short collegiate career.
Well, this is certainly a game to do it. See what you got on your bench. See if you can use them for later games in the season.
Short shot by Yorio, no good. Nitya Goyal into the game for the first time for Bard. Redmond brings it up. Ithaca's defense gets back quickly. Peck to the left for Dinkins. Drives one-on-one with Dubin on the deep corner. Will pull it back out. A pass to Redmond there goes out of bounds, so another unforced turnover by Bard. Ithaca will take it up once more.
Yeah, I think there you just got to swing it around the key a couple more times. Try to find some motion, somewhere a crack in the defense. That was just a force to the baseline.
Yorio, the post. Watkins mid-range J, too short. Redmond. Outlet to Dinkins. She has a one-on-one if she hurries with Cam Coffey. Goes right at Coffey. The layup rolls out. Rebound Dubin. Dangerous pass to Polche is completed.
3 on 2, 4
3 on 2 if they hurry. Yorio jumps up, puts it up, no good short, got her own rebound, and cannot finish. Yorio another offensive rebound, and she's finally fouled. No shot. It looked like Shirley Dong or Nitya Goyal got a piece of the sophomore big.
Yeah, ideally you would like that to be finished, but I mean, I think that's just one of those where it should have gone in. The rim just had other plans. I'm sure Dan Raymond likes the hustle, likes the offensive rebounding, and likes the inside presence.
Athanasio also back in for Bard. She comes in. Shea Sabino for the Bombers. Polche left wing 3, too short. Fight for the rebound. Watkins. Thrown back out to Polche. Cuts inside the paint. Yorio at the right elbow. Finds Sabino. Back to the top of the key for Polche. Grayson Dubin to the corner for Watkins again. Finds Yorio inside. Tough layup. Count it. And a foul.
Yep, she made up for those 2 missed layups with a chance for 3 points. A fierce inside presence early for Yorio in the second half.
Gotta be satisfying after she missed a couple ones close. Gets the hoop and the harm. Free throw by Yorio is good. Ithaca with their 50th tally of the game, and they now have a 27-point lead. Dong will bring it up for Bard. 5:17 to go in the third quarter of play. Both number 5s going at it. Dong and Dubin. Throw back to Athanasio in the right wing. Dong on the handoff. Tries to cut inside. Ball on the floor. Sabino trying to get right on it. Grandinetti saves possession. Tough shot by Goyal. Had it blocked inside. Long outlet pass. Yorio. Clear path ahead. Layup is good.
Way to run the floor, 3-4.
Timeout Bard, and we're seeing this deeper unit of Coach Raymond's Bombers playing a lot more efficiently in half number 2.
Well, as I said earlier, this is a game where you could throw your bench out there and give them significant minutes and see what you have for these games later in the season where you might have to look to your bench for a little bit of spark, a little bit of depth, and that's what we're seeing so far.
So in terms of scoring, Natalie Smith still leading the charge with 11. Yorio now with a total of 9. That's second on the team. Going back to Bard, though, again, Max just 3 scorers for them. May Redmond's got 7. Talia Grandinetti has 11, and Shirley Dong has 5. So I know Bard's, we talked about plenty of their issues, but is one of those not having a wide variety of scores?
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about depth, and I mean, the lack thereof of Bard is really what they can't hang their hat on anybody coming off the bench. They have to rely on their 3 players, their big 3, and maybe sometimes not even the 2 that make up the rest of the starting lineup. So, I mean, the lack of depth always is hurtful in basketball, especially in a game that's so cardio-induced. But, you know, Grandinetti and Redmond are playing very, very solid games. They just need somebody to pick up the slack. Secondary players are probably one of the most important things in the game of basketball.
Nikki Goyal will inbound to Shirley Dong. Again, Ithaca with the largest lead of the game at 29. 4:45 to go in quarter number 3. Dong to Dinkins at the top of the arc. Finds Athanasio in the right wing. Ball loose momentarily, but Grandinetti gets a hand on it. Goes one-on-one with Anya Watkins. Layup hanging in the air. No good. Watkins, the rebound.
Good take. Looked like she got hit.
Dubin will calm it down in the backcourt here. Front court, excuse me. Jill Payne, fresh to the game. Goes into the baseline for Watkins. Now Polche near the right block. Finds a cutting Dubin. And the pass for Sabino went out of bounds into the stands. And an unforced Bomber turnover out of the Bard timeout.
I'll tell you what. Who was that? Grandinetti or Dinkins that slipped inside, forced Dubin to get uncomfortable and feel like she had to kick that shot out quick or that pass out quickly in hopes that she wouldn't get called for a charge. That was great defense who really made that steal.
Dong to Athanasio at the top of the arc. Everything perimeter base right now for Bard. Dinkins left wing 3. Twiller pulls in and out. And Polche gets the tough rebound on the baseline. Sabino generating some offense here to the near side corner for Payne. Into the post for Watkins. Back to Jill Payne. Sabino top of the arc. Dubin on the right wing trying to find an inbound. 12 to shoot. Dubin, right wing 3. A little long. Offensive rebound. Nope. Dong's got it. 2-on-1 if Bard hurries. Here's Dinkins. And Dubin knocks it out of bounds on the break.
I'll tell you what, Shea Sabino really forced that ball to get passed up because Dinkins had a wide open layup if she doesn't hustle back on defense. And with the size mismatch that Shea Sabino holds over Dinkins, it forced her to pass the ball and avoids the wide open fast break layup.
Inbound inside Maggie Payton with her 4 fouls back in the game. Redmond, tough contested 3. Didn't catch iron, and nice save by Polche to get the ball to Jill Payne. Payne running the floor, kicks it back out Polche. Head fake, drives inside, free throw line jumper, off back iron, no good, rebound Payton.
Something interesting to keep an eye on, out of all the Bombers that have scored today, Hannah Polche, who's usually a pretty big factor in who they like to bring off the bench early, is one of those that aren't on the board yet.
Isabel Middleman, as well as Brady Lynch, getting ready to check back in for Coach Raymond's Bombers. And Payton will just throw it off the foot of Watkins to save possession there. She had no dribble, nowhere to go. We also see Emily Peck check in for the Raptors. Bombers still up 29 here, 2:50 to go. Thank you so much for tuning in. Just edition of Ithaca Women's Basketball alongside Max Adams and Jeremy Goldstein, as Brady Lynch knocks that inbound out of bounds.
Yeah, we saw Willisco Brito from the Bard sideline get her first meeting of the game, number 14 from Ecuador. A couple across the way from on Bard's bench right now. We have somebody from India, Ecuador. We got one from Hawaii. We got vast range. Bard comes from all over.
Nice take by May Redmond on the left side block to create the deuce for Bard. 52-25, Ithaca still leads. Middleman on the catch at the top of the key. Sabino had a look, didn't shoot. Free throw line jumper for Brady Lynch, cannot get the lucky roll. The rebound by Peck. Sabino knocks it loose, but Peck recovers. Dong will calm the offense down here. Tries one-on-one with Middleman, puts up the floater, and cannot get the roll, and Isabella Middleman corrals the board. 2:05 to go in the third quarter of play. Here's Payne on the left wing. Takes a dribble, finds Sabino, near side corner 3, no good. Rebound Redmond.
Redmond's got a 3-on-2 if she takes it.
Peck, tough floater, too short. Another one and done for Bard. Payne to Dubin. Steps into one, takes her time, fires the 3, connects!
A warm-up jumper for Dubin. Everyone just kind of sat and looked at her like deer in headlights. They knew that she was going to get the open shot. So she goes, okay, let me set my feet, take my time, an easy 3-ball.
But it's a second 3-ball for Dubin. In 4 attempts, she's 50% from behind the arc tonight. Peck. Corner, Raymond to 3. She's got it. May Redmond responds with a 3 of her own. The lead back down to 27 for Ithaca.
Yeah, usually the expression goes hand down, man down. The hand was up there. Not a lot of care for Redmond.
Dubin thought about it, but will find Lynch at the free throw line. Middleman to the top for Payne. Dubin has a one-on-one if she wants it. We'll give it back to Jill Payne. Middleman to the post for Lynch. Goes right inside, cannot finish through contact, and the rebound to Emily Peck.
Middleman's got to shoot those. In this stage of the game, what do you got to lose? Get your percentage up, get your buckets, show something to the coach. Why not?
Bounce pass for Payton, just in front of the arc. Redmond blocked by Dubin. Dubin recovers possession. Really nice defensive effort.
Yeah, she'll care about that hand.
By the junior guard there. Payne on the deep corner. Bounce for Sabino. Sabino in front of the arc finds Lynch. Grayson Dubin to Payne. Back in for Lynch again. Lots of unselfishness on the Bomber offense. 9 to shoot. Payne back to Dubin. For the loft one from Middleman, it's taken away by Brito. Dong on Dubin. Another block by Grayson Dubin. Ball on the floor. Payton can't get there. Who's this foul going to go to?
Payton took a shot to the face.
She did. Hopefully she's okay. The foul's going to go to Grayson Dubin on the hit to the head. Payton looks like she's gathered herself. Sub's going to check in here for Bard as Jade Dinkins comes back into the game.
Yeah. Seems like she's all right. Just a little bit of shock. Might have caught an elbow to the jaw there on the loose ball.
Just 0.7 to go, so enough time for a catch and shoot, but it's got to be quick. Redmond didn't get it off in time. Shot was no good anyway, and that'll do it for the first 3 quarters of play. Ithaca with the commanding 55-28 lead. Max, we're seeing lots of these Bombers take advantage of their opportunities, and that includes the junior guard, Grayson Dubin.
Yeah, she's taking advantage of open looks. They keep giving her those percentage busters, those three-point shots that, are a little deeper. But Grayson Dubin has shown the ability to make those. At this point, she's also finding the open players on the wings, really being unselfish, as is the rest of this Bomber team. And as a result, we see a really well-gelled second unit.
Ithaca, again, will continue to run this similar five out. Look at Hannah Polche, though. I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Hannah Polche being a leader to these current five on the sideline, giving them some advice. And I think that's another thing you could take away. Obviously, playing time, very valuable to these players who don't get as many looks. But if one of the more experienced players can help guide you throughout your minutes, I think that could also prove to be a valuable lesson to learn.
Yeah, I'm sure Polche's taking on that role. I'm sure Kara Volpe's on the bench talking people's ears off, telling them what she sees on the floor, helping them out. I think the experienced members of this team have the chance now to really coach these second year, these third year, these inexperienced parts of their team, because as I keep saying, they might need them down the line.
So Ithaca will come out with Dubin, Sabino, Middleman, Payne, and Lynch as they finished the third quarter with. Be Dinkins, Redmond, Grandinetti. I believe Emily Peck out there alongside Shirley Dong for Bard. Coming up right after this, Ithaca College men's basketball will take on Bard's men's basketball team as well. I'll be on the call with that one again with our colleague Lucas Jaffet. Another fun battle potentially on hand there. Ten minutes on the clock as we're ready for the final quarter of play at Ben Light Gymnasium. 55-28 Bombers all over Bard. Lynch at the top of the key, finds Payne. Will hand off Middleman and the screen from Lynch. Middleman, hop step, gives to Dubin on the left wing. Middleman uses the Dubin screen to find Sabino in the wing. Lots of unselfishness again. Dubin drives left side, tries to throw in for Payne, who catches, swings it for Sabino again. 3 to shoot, Lynch, and again, so much unselfishness here. No one wants to take a shot. I don't know if it's because of the large deficit, but another throw out of bounds at the end of the shot clock.
Yeah, maybe one of those respect things that you see in baseball when the game is kind of already decided. You're not allowed to steal bases anymore. Maybe they don't want to take a shot earlier in the shot clock. I don't know. I didn't think that was really a respect unwritten rule in basketball, but they're unwritten for a reason.
Grandinetti, a nice finish inside over a couple of Bomber defenders. Bard has reached the 30-point total. Here's Dubin. Near cross-court pass for Sabino. Handoff Lynch, who aimed it right back off for Sabino. Now Dubin swings. Isabel Middleman thought about three. Will drive inside. Gets contact. Dubin offensive rebound. Dubin can't finish. Fight for the rebound, and it will be a jump ball. Bard should get the ball back here. And again, another look inside bet if you're Grayson Dubin, maybe you want to convert.
Yeah, one of the easier looks she's had on the day. I mean, she's made her mark from the three-point arc to this point, so maybe she just wasn't used to having that easy of a shot that close. One can only guess.
Dong, hesitation move, floater, left short off glass. Outlet pass from Payne to Sabino. Throws it inside for Brady Lynch, but it was a little too high. Second Bomber turnover already of quarter number 4.
Not a bad look, though. Try to convert on the fast break. Brady Lynch running the floor. That's just great transition defense by Grandinetti.
Ithaca out rebounding Bard 38-25, but they do have 9 turnovers to Bard's 11. Dong layup no good, but a foul. And Shirley Dong will get a pair of free throw attempts here. Try to cut the Bomber lead down to 23.
Still only 3 scorers on the ball game for the Bard Raptors.
Dong, one of them. She has 5. Open the scoring for Bard with a 3-pointer back in the first as the Southpaw drills the first. Shirley Dong, the first-year native of Brooklyn, New York. Second free throw, no good. Rebounded by Jillian Payne. Middleman will hand off to Shea Sabino. Goes back to the corner for Middleman. Lynch at the left elbow, fakes, and I believe she walked. And Maggie Payton again will come back in with 4 fouls. 8:06 to go.
Hey, 1-10-0 run can completely change the outlook of this game from the Bard end. Because it's only, I mean, 24 points is 24 points, but in basketball, especially in a game that we were anticipating it to be a 30, 40-point deficit, you know, one 10-0 run, that is very doable in this game. Could change, you know, the perspective a little bit and maybe raise some eyebrows.
Another non-shooting foul on Bard's side of the floor. It'll go against Shea Sabino. Peyton on the inbound. Redmond, off balance three, nearly got it in off glass somehow, but Sabino corrals the rebound. Payne thought about three, didn't want to shoot it. Hand off to Isabella Middleman. Bounces for Sabino on the near corner. Lynch to Dubin, far side. Goes to Middleman. Middleman drives, kicks it back out. Dubin, good look for three. No good off glass, but Brady Lynch comes out to get the long rebound. Dish, Payne, long two. Rattles out, rebound Dubin, puts one back up, cannot get the roll, and Peyton corrals another rebound. Mae Redmond will take it. Thought she didn't have a dribble, had no teammates to dish one off to. And a 10-second violation is going to be called on Mae Redmond, resulting in a Bard turnover there, Max.
I'm not entirely sure what we just saw. Maybe on next week's episode of Shacked and a Fool, we'll see that.
Oh man, it's harsh.
Do we have that on ICTV, a Shacked and a Fool segment?
I'm not sure.
We might want to invest in that. Keep the people entertained. You know, that was our Russell Westbrook-esque, where you look at the sidelines and you ask them what they were doing, and their response is, I don't know.
Sabino drives baseline. Offensive foul as Grandinetti sacrifices her body.
Yeah, and I mean, everywhere you look, everything good that has happened on the Bard side of this game has been Grandinetti has been a catalyst for almost all of it. The hustle, the rebounding, the inside presence, the scoring. If only we could get her a little bit of help, she would be a premier player in this league.
Grandinetti, right side drive, nice spin move, but you couldn't get the layup to fall, and Grayson Dubin, another rebound. Make it 10 rebounds for Dubin already.
Wow.
Sabino, long two, no good, rebound Lynch, kicks it back out Middleman. Dubin will drive inside, floater is up, floater is good.
Have yourself a game, Grayson Dubin.
Timeout called.
Are we looking at the double-double?
By Bard. I don't know. That might have been her 9th rebound, not her 10th. But if she plays the remaining duration of this game, Max, it's certainly in play.
Wow. And, I mean, talk about taking advantage of your minutes. Not somebody that we're accustomed to seeing getting this kind of minutes on this team, but a double-double is nothing to scoff at. Yeah, we got 10 points, 9 rebounds for Dubin on the day. 3 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. If we could just get her one more rebound, we'll get a career day from Grayson Dubin, and maybe a little morale booster to get her some more minutes down the line.
Yeah, again, double-doubles always look good in the stat sheet regardless of your opponent. Again, Dubin definitely taking advantage of her minutes. She's now second on the team in scoring. Keep in mind, Cameron Coffey's played 12 minutes. She's got 8 points. Cara Volpe and Lindsay Albertelli, just 5 minutes each. They played the first.
Really taking over the game. They're spreading the wealth a lot, but you look at the stat sheet, and Grayson Dubin has had a lot to do with how this game has swung on the rebounding end, the defensive end, as well as her scoring output.
So it appears as if Jillian Payne will get a breather here. Anya Watkins will receive some more minutes. Shirley Dong will advance the ball into the front court. And she walked.
Some miscommunication there on the hope to be pick and roll.
5th turnover for Shirley Dong. Under 6 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter of play. Sabino to the baseline for Lynch. Fading jumper, no good, rebound by Dong. Dubin almost got that offensive board. Ball loose in the backcourt.
Another 10-second there.
Dong will recover in advance. Double team, pass inside, Grandinetti, she finishes. Lynch couldn't alter the shot. And Grandinetti now with 15 points.
Yeah, not only is she affecting the game for her team as far as getting on the floor, getting rebounds, but she's also scoring very efficiently. Now 6 of 10 on the day.
Inbound to Watkins. Now Sabino on the far side of the baseline. Throws it up for Anya Watkins. Middleman. Left wing three. Connects! Isabella Middleman, second three-pointer of the afternoon.
Get 3-5 some more shots, huh?
Their high-arcing make for the sophomore point guard.
I'm telling you, Jeremy, I was watching warm-ups. I had a feeling that Isabella Middleman, if she got the shot attempts up today, she was going to have some success. And here we are, 2 shot attempts, 2 makes. We need more, though. We got 4 minutes left. Let's try to get a couple more out of her.
Dubin called for the foul. That looked as clean as it could be. But Grayson will just laugh it off there, and it will be a couple of free throws here for May Redmond.
Yeah, not really a necessary call to make at this point in the game. Great defensive play by Dubin, taken off the board. Unfortunate, but Redmond will be the beneficiary of the 2-shot free throw.
Redmond first free throw is good. Redmond and Grandinetti now both in double digits. That was the 13th point for May Redmond. Redmond also with 5 rebounds, a trio of turnovers, and a trio of fouls. No assists. (60-35), 4:41 to go in this one. Dubin on the left wing, cross-court pass, Middleman, and she walked.
Yeah, she had a little mishandling of the ball when she first got it into her hands. Would have been a clean move if she would have caught it cleanly, but a turnover for 3-5.
Middleman, the
make up for
steal. Dong coughed it up. 3-on-2 with the Bombers. Hurry, Lynch on the cut, and she blew the layup. Dubin, though, nice hustle by Lynch, scraped the offensive rebound.
Shoot it. Shoot it. Take advantage of the open shots. Get your work in.
Watkins in the paint. Dubin, far side 3. In and out. Lynch, offensive glass. Lynch puts it up, no good. Sabino, the rebound. That was blocked. Well, at least the rebounding stats are being padded for a lot of these Bombers here.
Yeah.
Here's Redmond. Drives left side. Almost traveled. Grandinetti now on the one-on-one with Watkins. She throws up a 3. That's good. Talia Grandinetti, 18 points now in the afternoon. Too little too late, but the lead out to 22.
Yeah, Jeremy, she's got a bag. Despite the deficit, she's still putting up a great game in her own right. 6 of 10 from the field. 1 of 1 from 3. 3 of 4 from the line. Efficient and effective.
Middleman 3, Max, and she's got another.
Yeah, feed 3-5 from 3. That's what I'm saying. 3 minutes left. She's hot. She hasn't missed since she entered the gym. Just keep getting her the shots.
A career high for Isabella Middleman. 9 points. That is tied for third on the team. Stolen by Dubin. 1-on-1 with Shirley Dong. Lefty layup. No good, short. And fight for the rebound. Dinkins will get it, and Middleman committed the foul. Again, you wanted Dubin to get that.
Yeah, I saw the missed layup. I saw it go right back to her. That was it. That was the double-double. I mean, I'm sure she'll get another chance to do it, but just, so close.
Sabino will take a seat. Jillian Payne will check back in. See, this is what it's all about, though. You're going to have your fair share of nail-biters this season. This is a fun game for the Bombers. They're having a lot of fun both on the bench and on the 5 on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Those players that don't get a chance are always fan favorites once they enter the floor. We're always rooting for them. And here today, making a mark on the game.
In the penalty, no team fouls for Bard. Just Jade Dinkins will go to the line for 2. First one is up and good, so make it a 4th scorer for Bard as Dinkins
on a rare jumping free throw. I like it.
She's able to stay behind the line. Let's see if she does it again here. You're right, Max. She does jump, and she's 2 for 2.
Hey, whatever gets the ball through the net, who cares?
Emily Peck in the game. Maggie Payton will take another seat.
All right, so I think at this stage of the game, we're either rooting for a Middleman 3 or a Dubin rebound. So somebody miss or somebody feed 3-5.
Dubin will find Lynch. Far side, Middleton.
There she is. Give me another.
For 4 threes. Too far. And the rebound by Dong. And Dubin
that would have brought me out of my seat.
commits the foul there.
Nothing wrong with a little heat check. It was open, but it's still a heat check. Don't stop shooting.
Shirley Dong will go back to the line for 2.
What's that Deion Waiters quote? I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9 because 0 for 9 means I stopped shooting.
I believe it's something along those lines, but there's a reason why Deion Waiters hasn't been in the league for quite some time. Is the first free throw is good for Shirley Dong.
I think that has a little more to do with the gummies in the airplane than it does the game. Although he has added a couple pounds to that frame of his too, so I'm sure teams are looking at that too.
2 for 2 at the line for Dong. She's got 8. Dubin fakes the 3. Dubin, left wing 3 of her own. Air ball, and Lynch saves possession, but into the hands of Jada Dinkins.
We're running out of opportunities, Jeremy.
Redmond, bounce pass inside, and it goes out of bounds off of Dubin. 2:09 to go again. Coming up right after this, Ithaca men's basketball takes on Bard men's basketball. Ithaca, their men's team, a loss at the buzzer.
Oh my God, we got to talk about that. I mean, I don't think I was here for that. I don't believe you were. Miss the layup and get the rebound, Grayson.
Dubin.
Do it.
Will tally in for 2. And Dubin now with 12 points of her own, 65-42.
But yeah, I was here for that buzzer beater tip-in. Didn't look good at the buzzer. Was called good. They discussed it. There wasn't a lot of conversation. And I mean, not to harp on officiating too much, but I mean, there's got to be something a little more done there from a standpoint. I think those are one of the plays where you got to kind of start over, treat it as a fumble in the NFL, where you let the play go, take it to review, and in that case, that would have sent the game to overtime had they waved it off. Let the better team win in overtime. And it was just a bad, collective effort of officiating.
Ithaca men's basketball will try to salvage a win on the weekend after this as Anya Watkins, on the nice feed from Brady Lynch, will shoot 2. First one no good off back iron.
I'll tell you what, in the men's locker room, it's not sitting right with them. They're talking about coming out today and running Bard off the floor by 40 points. And Tristan Wenderson is somebody I'd keep an eye on in that game. Got a lot of good looks around the rim. Wasn't able to convert, and he was more angry than anybody at the end of that game. I think we see an aggressive Tristan Wenderson maybe put up 20 points this afternoon. In a matchup where he's going to have more minutes and an advantage matchup-wise, I'd keep an eye on him going into that game.
Again, Bard not one of the more memorable programs in Division III of late, but their men's basketball team has taken some strides. There's a foul on the inbound. Grandinetti has a chance at 20 points here if she converts both of her free throws. Again, Bard's men's basketball has been one of their better programs over the last couple of seasons. They did lose by 21 here at Ben Lake Gymnasium last year as the first free throw rolls off, but they're off to a 3-3 start this season. They have wins against Elmira, Mount St. Mary, and Pratt Institute. They did lose to RIT by 22 points yesterday. As Grantinetti's second try is good.
Yeah, but I think that sour taste in the mouth proves to be a disadvantage for them, for Bard this afternoon, because, I mean, an angry Ithaca, I don't really know what they do with it, but anytime that you come off of that sour of a loss and then have an opponent that you know you have an advantage against, there it is, the double-double. The double-double. Who cares about the missed layup? We have the double-double, and with 1 minute to go, Grayson Dubin had a day.
10 rebounds now.
Career day.
10 rebounds on the day now for Grayson Dubin. Along with her 12 points, she'll look for 2 more tallies at the line. 1:01 to go in the fourth quarter. After the game, stay with us for the post-game show with both Dean Gutik and Alex Chaprut. As Dubin's first free throw is a little strong.
She can miss a couple from the line. I mean, I'm sure Dan Raymond isn't that happy about it, but I mean, she's had a good enough game where she could walk away with 12 and 10 and be completely okay with her career outing.
And they're going to call a foul on Anya Watkins on the rebound try there. A minute to go. Now exactly.
Just give me one more Middleman 3 and I'll have a wholesome value to walk away with from today.
Talia Grandinetti going back to the line now. She's 4 for 6 from the charity stripe today, looking again for her 20th point. First one is up, and there it is. So, Grandinetti, you mentioned one of the top scorers in the Liberty League so far, and she's got herself a 20-point outing to increase her average.
Yep, and then it'll move her probably up the ladder, too. Averaging just 14 points. Those .3s, those .5s that are just above her, might see a knockdown in the rankings next week.
Dubin to Jillian Payne at the top of the key. Middleman thought about it. We'll go to Payne. Dubin. Lynch drives baseline. Finds Jillian Payne in the corner, but she couldn't corral the pass.
That's unfortunate. That's probably Ithaca's last possession in the game that they could have really got a shot off. We'll like to see Middleman get one more in. Didn't even get a shot attempt off, but a great outing from all three units of Dan Raymond's squad this afternoon.
Tough inbound. Grandinetti barely corrals the pass, and she finishes. Talia Grandinetti with 22 points today. A silver lining of this one for Bard is they now trail by 20, and Ithaca should hold for the final shot here. Or no shot, hold to the buzzer. My apologies there, as Middleman.
Unless you want to let Middleman shoot another one. I mean, nobody's going to argue with that, I think.
Ithaca 4 seconds. Dubin kicked the ball, and they're going to call a jump with 1.4 to go. It will stay with the Bombers if that means anything.
So is this where you test Brady Lynch's dunking limits and just throw a lob at the rim, see what happens?
Inbound to Middleman, and the clock will wind down. Ithaca moves to 2-0 in Liberty League play and 6-1 in the season, defeating Bard 66-46. Before we toss it to postgame, Max, any final words?
I mean, a shorter deficit than yesterday's game against Vassar, against a more worthy opponent, and Ithaca was still able to ride the course. Not the best efficient shooting day, but a day where all three units played very solid minutes. Grayson Dubin had a career day, 12 and 10. I loved everything I saw today from the Bombers.
Well, that'll do it for us on the Bomber Athletic stream. We're going to toss to the post-game show with Alex Chaprout and Dean Gutic when we get back.
We are back here at Ben Light Gymnasium as the Ithaca Bombers women's basketball team takes down the Bard College Raptors 66-46 the final score. The Bombers really just kept their foot on the gas pedal and was able to run away with this game. Hello everyone, I am Alex Schubert. Alongside me is Dean Gutic. And Dean, what a statement win for the Bombers today. And what were the Bombers able to do in the second half to ultimately run away with this game?
Well, Alex, they did nearly the same thing as they did the first half. I mean, they still took their shots. They took their shots a bit more this one than the second one. Excuse me.